try this. Y'all hear me now? Yeah. Okay? Okay, again, I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out. I know it's Friday, and I know y'all busy. I know some of y'all want to get down the street. So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? I am, like, overjoyed. This is our second year of TNT. It took me a year to get the minimum, right? To do this program. It's like one of my babies. I've always said that in order for us to break the wealth and generational gap, we have to be able to teach our young people financial sustainability. You know, and that's been my pet peeve. And to be honest with you, no matter what chief the city have, they always supported me when it came to this program. I just never was able to get it off the ground. And I also want to say Mr. Steve. He's very sweet, very quiet, very modest, and I was trying to hide in the background. But I'm quite sure we all have been to the marketplace down the street, but that's the owner. Mr. Steve is right there. I want to say thank you, Mr. Steve. He's well for the support. So, with that being said, I know a lot of you probably don't understand what TNT is about. Well, let me just tell you this. 78% of African Americans, well, not African Americans, Americans in this country, it's probably a little higher now since COVID, has been living from paycheck to paycheck for over 30 plus years. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, it's the nature of the beast, the nature of the time. Okay? Top 1% of the economy owns 54% in the U.S. Just think about it. Now, as big as the United States is, only 1%, you know what I'm saying, is owned by 54% of Americans. Wealth has grown to the point, and the divide has been so wide for 30 plus years, like I said. So, unfortunately, society itself has been growing and growing about, you see, look on social media about little babies playing little league or cheering, things of that nature. They're more worried about that. Yeah. But however, 78%, probably a little higher than that now, of pro athletes, no matter what they play. They can play baseball, they can be basketball, they can be hockey, they can be football, they can be track. 78%, 78 again, 78, 78% go broke and have to get a regular paying job 3 years after they graduate. After they retire. It doesn't matter the color.
I don't want to be in
Money
people's way.
have no discrimination whatsoever. You either know or you don't know. It's just that simple. Now, with that being said, with TNT, I referred back to W.E.D. Du Bois. When he said you could take 10 men and educate them in wealth, finance, and all they have to do is have the love for the community and the love to educate and they can run the world. And we can get out this deficit. So with TNT, I just kept playing in my head. I see it all the time. Anyone who knows me know I'm in the community a lot. I try my best to help every child that comes through my doors to come in my grace. I'm up all times of night, all times on the weekends, Sundays, and Dr. Pittman, our city commissioner, tell me all the time, listen, you gotta give yourself some me time. You'll burn out. If you don't have nothing in your tank, you can't give nothing to nobody else. But it's always bothered me. We more worried about putting our kids on Jordans and Nikes. We more worried about them going to Little League football team. We more worried about them playing on the cheerleader team. My grandbaby just played on the cheerleader team this year, first time ever. It's $500. The cheer package. 500. And if you go to these Little League fields, it's packed. It's packed with people. It's packed with little babies. And got me to thinking again, dang man, how can we break that curse? How can we break that curse? Well, I met David. He's one of my top 10. Well, it took me a little minute to convince him. He's a sweet, sweet soul. But he's firm and he's thick and he's strong. But hey, I'm built like a Mack truck. We get it on, we battle. He ain't finna move me. He might have to go around me, but he ain't finna move me. You know? And I talked to him and I told him about what I wanted to do. He was not feeling it. But David's genius when it comes to financial literacy and buying, selling stock. Young brother, ain't even 30 yet. Well, hell, he might be 30, not because he's 28 then. Okay, but anyway. Young 30, put it that way. And I kept talking to him. He thought I was going so well. I called him, he didn't answer, I text him. He don't answer, I email him. He don't answer, I call him again. He don't answer, I text him. He don't answer, I email him again. I ain't going nowhere. And so finally he said, okay, let's have a sit down, let's talk about this. He said, what do you want? What do you want to see? Tell me, what do you want to see? So I told him, what I want to see, I want our babies to be able to break that generational curse of financial instability. I want them to be financially stable. By the time they're 18, I want them to have something they could teach their counterparts in their household. I want a program, if they educate themselves, they can educate someone from 5 to 50 in their household. And he was like, well, Miss Sharon, you do know what you're asking, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, you know, I can't teach them how to buy and sell stock without money. And the way you're talking, where are we going to get that money from? I said, I have a kidney left. Let me worry about that. What do you want to do? How much is it going to cost? She said, at least at the very bottom, Ms. Sharon, they have to have something to go into the stock market. The least I can do is $350. I said, okay. You think that ain't nothing, right? Because we're talking about 10 individuals. Because TNT, we have 10, it was started off as 10 boys. That's my vision. To take 10 men that's in 10th grade. You teach them how to buy and sell stock. They have to have a sibling. They have to, part of the curriculum, you have to educate your household. Everything let you invest in, you graduate high school, that's one of the contingents. You turn 18, you take your money, you do what you want with it. Amen. We would like to think that we have educated you enough that you won't blow it, but hey, if you do, we know we gave you the information. First thing David said, Michelle, that ain't gonna work. He said, you know, you got these parents, let me worry about them. He's like, well, Michelle, you know, once we start getting that done, they're gonna say, hey, you know, the roof's leaking. I said, it's still gonna be leaking. Because they can't get their money until they turn 18, it's theirs. It's theirs. That's part of they have to sign off. First thing David say, well, how you gonna get $3,500? You talking about 10 kids. I said, I told you I got a kid that left. Let me do this. So I hit the streets. Mr. Steve supported me. City of Fort Lauderdale, the police department supported me. I knocked on doors, I begged, I crawled, I came back and he looked at me and he like, damn. All right, let's get it done. Because I came back and we can start getting it done. So this is what I'm trying to let y'all understand. When I say about the Little League, I want you to think about that for a second. I didn't pay for my granddaughter to play Little League cheerleading, or my grandson to play Little League football. I didn't pay. However, there's families out there paying. Yeah. Think about that. $500 for one season for your child to go, oh, ha, ha, ha. That's it, right? Well, you can take $350 and invest in them to be sustainable. I want to say that again. I don't think y'all heard me. You take $350 and your child can invest in his future to be sustainable going forward. 1 year. $350 cover 1 year. Trust me. It's hard because David is, he cold as ice. He good. It's very difficult to do that in 1 year. Very difficult. TNT is a 6-month program. They meet once in person, every other Tuesday, and the other Tuesday online. That's this curriculum part. How we keep them going, City of Fort Lauderdale supported me on that. We encourage them to keep going. Their grades they can't falter. We take them to like the heat game, things of that nature. I make sure they have a summer job to help them. I'm not talking about it, I'm being about it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I'm practicing what I preach. So I make sure they have that job in the summer. Still have to do what you need to do. Mr. David Arnold, hey, how much did you put away? How much you put aside? How much you put over here? That had nothing to do with what they invested in with TNT. Make sense? So, not only did we make sure they get the summer job, they check in every month. David very stern. I'm gonna tell you how serious he is, and I have to love him for that, and I do love him for that. Oh, we have some battles. We have some battles, but I love him because I have to understand as well. We all do as a parent. The world don't see our babies.
No.
They see an individual in front of them. He mine, and he yours. But when he go out in the world, that's just somebody who coming in their presence. Oh, she's so sweet, she's so smart. They don't know that. He kicked my own grandson out. Think about that for a second. And I respect that because he's absolutely right. He mine. But if he don't learn here, this is the time for them to fail. Yeah. I don't want them to fail when they get 22 and 25 and 26. Yeah. You have to fail now. Because your villagers are here to help you pick yourself back up. Yeah. That makes sense?
I understand.
So that's the reason why we started with TNT. TNT is the talented 10, W.E.D. Du Bois. He said you take 10 men and you educate them of the world. He said book smart, you have to read. If you ever read his book, he'll tell you what he was talking about. And you have to educate them on life and put them back in the community where they have to love and they bring up the next team and you can rule the world. Now when it comes to TNT, you might say, well, Michelle, you don't have 10. But didn't I tell you David don't play? David do not play. Because if you don't want to take it serious now, I can't love you more than you love yourself. If I love you more than you love yourself, you will never go nowhere. We have to love each other 50-50. I give you 50, you give me 50, we can work this. And the reason why you see women on what? Parents at this time. Because we started, and I was fighting that too, and no more 10 boys. It ain't about the numbers. We want to educate 10 at a time, just like we said. It ain't about the numbers. So, but Mr. Armstrong did exactly what he was supposed to do. He went home and he had his little homework and he was having his meetings. He come home and he was educating his sister. And he was telling her what he was learning, what he was doing, and how he was what is going up, what's going on, stuff I don't know about. But he was educating his sister. When I tell you this sister wrote me an email, I said, Miss Sharon, my name is Jada. I want to be able to be financially sustainable like my brother. He come home and he tell me things and he show me things and I'm very interested. The letter was so good, I said, David, what you think of this letter that Jada wrote me? He said, Jada who? I said, Armstrong, little sister. He said, I told you we need to get some girls. I'm like, oh, be quiet. Read the email. Read the email. I said, okay, let's do it. So the second cohort, we interviewed girls. Don't get me wrong. We had some very good applicants. The process can go through me first. If you can pass me, you okay. But honey, you got to pass that over there. But let me tell you how he did it. They did the interview process.
Wow.
Yes. A couple of them not here because they had other things to do. But they did the interview process. And they gave a report on how they felt about the individual.
Wow.
And I'm like, David, you don't ever create a monster? And you're like, no. They gave a report. And you know what stuck out to me? Because Mr. Armstrong was a football player. That's Framingham. He was a little bit, that's Framingham. Mr. Armstrong said, we had a basketball player. He said, he's not a good fit, Miss Sharon. I said, why he not a good fit? He said, because we asked him, how he going to balance basketball and coming to be telling me? He told us, well, I do that until I have a tournament, then I can't come. He said, if he's not willing to sacrifice for his future, this ain't the place for him.
Wow.
I'm like, damn. That hit hard. I'm like, okay. The daddy called me. Michelle, you did that bad. What's going on? Why baby can't be in? No, they didn't think he was a good fit. I told David, they said, don't worry. Tell him to call me. I said, no, we ain't doing that. We're going to stop right here. And that's how we ended up with these young ladies on this calendar. Because they said, my future is more important. If I have to miss a practice, I will do that. If I have to miss a game, I will do that. She's a cheerleader. And she said it. If I have to, Michelle, my future to be more financially sustainable is more important to me than cheer. And that's how they end up on the steps this time. So I said all that to say, because of my 110, David Torrance is the reason why we have TNT today. So without further ado, I want to introduce you. Oh yeah, he could be a thorn in my behind, but he's mine, and I love it, and y'all ain't gonna take it. David Torrance, come on now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm not as bad as she makes it sound.
Oh yeah, he is.
I just want to take this in for a second because this is our second time doing this. We were in a different spot last time. We're actually down the street, struggling to find a location, and we're blessed to have this new facility here that the YMCA has provided for us to be here. But more than anything, I see familiar faces, which makes me feel very good. And I'm also seeing familiar faces on the stage. Unfortunately, if you look at the picture there, that was the first cohort, and there are some individuals who are not here in that picture because unfortunately they cannot make it through. And I say that because consistency is a standard. I challenge all of us to try to get out of our youth, because without consistency, they would never finish, and without dedication, they never start. And I want to say thank you to Talented 10 for being dedicated, for being consistent. As I often tell you when I do my little sermons before we leave or when we start our sessions, this characteristic that you've been able to put on display since we started to now is what will make you great individuals. This will make you successful. This will make your mom, dad, parents, and loved ones so proud of you. And I will be proud of you as well. Because before you're an adult, you're establishing who you want to be and how you want to be that person. And that is commendable. I often tell adults, often tell students, anyone who tells me they want to start investing, I say the best investment you can make is one in yourself. And all of you are already doing that. So I want to thank you for making an investment in yourself, for making an investment in this program, for trusting me, for trusting Ms. Sharon, because I do not take it for granted. And to the parents, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your children, for knowing that I have their best interests at heart, and also seeing that I have something to give to them. I often tell people this as well. I have no problem being used. I just don't want to be misused. So please use me to the best of your ability. Because again, I really want to be here to pour into them, because I can do it, I want to do it, and also I'm good at investing, so I know what I'm doing. So with that said, tonight, of course, is our ceremony to acknowledge them. But throughout their process, during the first cohort, we had the gentlemen kind of display what they've learned. And today, before I kind of go on my soliloquy and do a presentation updating you on what we've done since the last cohort and also what we have coming up, I would love the two young ladies who have joined this program to have the floor to show you what they've learned and what they've created. One of the projects that I gave the youth this year was creating a business. Fun fact, creating a business and understanding that business is no different than what you would do to identify a business in the stock market. But instead of having them look up a company like Amazon and talk about why that's great and how that does this and that, I want them to create one. Because number one, I want them to have that skill. And number two, it translates very easily to investing, and it's so easy for me to teach them. Because the concepts are just more natural, because guess what? They're probably talking about a business they're interested in, as opposed to one they're kind of being forced to engage with, if that makes sense. So today, the two young ladies will go through their projects, educate you all a little bit, and ask for your participation. So if they do at any point ask for your participation, I do ask you to indulge them. I will have Peyton go first. I'm just going to go left to right. keep it simple. And I'm gonna put her presentation up, but as Peyton comes up, let's give her a hand.
So I'm Peyton Ferguson. I'm a sophomore at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale. And before I start, I would like to thank all my family, especially my mom, as well as my brother and my uncle, who's like my dad, for being here supporting me and helping me to get to where I am right now. So the business I decided to do is called Premier Essentials. It is hair care made easy for all natural hair. So the business that I chose is in the consumer discretionary sector, well known as the beauty industry. So people often ask what makes a business profitable. And what makes a business profitable is the ability to solve a problem. Premier Essentials will sell shampoos, conditioners, oils, and gels that will help maintain African American natural hair. So the value of the beauty industry is $534 billion, which is also known as the total addressable market. And this is just the value of the industry. Further into that is the service available market, which is $2,670,000, which is basically the amount of money that's available to me. Further into that is the service obtainable market, which is $267,000. That is the amount of money that is available to me with my current resources, basically the amount of money that I can achieve now. So the goal for Premier Essentials is to be able to help African American women. The avatar of my business is younger minority females, because they tend to be more in the beauty industry, including lashes, doing nails, doing hair, etc. The goal is to be able to make products that care for natural hair all over the nation. I want to be able to protect our planet while at the same time caring for crowns all over the world. And here's the first look at Premier Hair Care Essentials. It will include a conditioner, a shampoo, a styling gel, as well as a leave-in conditioner. And that is all for Premier Essentials, and I'm your CEO, Peyton Ferguson. Thank you.
Amazing job. Let's give her another hand. I'm even impressed with that. 'Cause I told her to practice it, but she had it down to the T. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not even that good. But yeah, again, starting a business is hard. Maybe some of us in here are entrepreneurs and we have a business, and I'm often telling them that the best time to start a business is when you're young, so you can develop the idea. Not only that, you have all the time in the world to learn about it, and you have to fight against a job, maybe family and other responsibilities to get closer to that goal. So again, that small experience of her being in this program and knowing that is going to get her one step closer to being a more productive citizen in society, but not only that, a high earner in her family because of the knowledge that she has. Because I often tell people, we just don't want to put equity in their pocket, but also build their mental equity. Because that's something that can be taken away from them. It's also their biggest asset outside of time. So with that said, we're going to have our next young lady come up, Jada. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Let's give her a hand.
My name is Jada Armstrong. I'm in the 11th grade. I attend Dillard High School. This is my first year in the scholarship program. And I would like to thank my family for being here and supporting me, as well as everyone in this room. Alright, my business is called Behind Our Skin. It is a Black-owned skincare business that specializes in hyperpigmentation, hirsutism, and acne scars. There are 11 sectors in the marketplace. The sector that my business falls into is consumer discretionary. But you may be familiar with industries. The industry that my business is in is the beauty industry, specifically skincare. All right, Peyton said it earlier, but I want to see if you guys remember. What makes a business profitable?
Consumers.
What makes a business profitable is that it solves a problem. The problem that my business solves is that it brings attention to the lack of help to black skincare. There are only 3% of black dermatologists in the skincare industry, and I would like to improve that. This is the market evaluation. There is the total addressable market, and that is how big is the largest market. The largest market for my business is $135.83 billion. However, I would like to see how much of that market is available to me. There is $679,000 that is available to me. Furthermore, I would like to see how much of that can I obtain in the first year. For example, I would take 10% of that and divide it by my price that I set for my kids, which is $175, and I would need 383 customers. Okay. Lastly, my mission for my business is that it is enough to be an effective and profitable business. I will provide customizable skincare kits with dermatologists that specialize in exactly what my business is looking for. My business will help people that treat these conditions without pain and having to spend excessive amount of money on attacking the problem head on. For example, we have cleansers, oils, moisturizing, etc., and that would be $175 per kit. And that is behind our stick.
Ms. Sharon, you can click to the next slide for me, please. So, I would like to just give you guys some background information as well in the genesis of the Talented 10th program. I was connected with Ms. Sharon. I'm going to fill in some of the details for you guys. I was connected with Ms. Sharon by my mentor, Kobe King, and he put me in contact with Ms. Sharon. And at the time, I wanted to do something with youth when it came to investing, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. To be honest with you, from my background at the time, I was working with a lot of athletes, and coming out of working in schools and working with athletes, I was a little deterred by the fact that I didn't think youth cared enough to learn, to be honest with you. So I had a very combative personality against the idea, which is why she had to call me, email me the way in which she did to kind of warm me up to the idea. But one thing she said to me when she told me about what she wanted to do was that she wanted to start small. That she only wanted 10 kids. I'm like, 10? Oh, that's doable. Like, we got over 1,000-something kids in Broward. Like, it can't be that hard to find 10. So that's what initially warmed me up to it, but also liked it because of the background and history. If you go to the next slide, of, like she said, the Talented 10, and how it was connected to W.E.B. Du Bois, and how he had a vision for us to take 1/10 of the population, educate that population, and give them the resources and tools they needed to push the community forward. So we took that idea, put our own little twist on it, remixed it a little bit, and turned it into a financial sustainability program. And we use that word specifically because many times when we say financial literacy, we think personal finance. We think a bank account. We think credit cards. We think budgeting. And all those things are necessary. But the community in which we serve, and many of us today, inflation is kicking our butt. Gas, eggs, milk, right? Inflation. So the question becomes, right? If I'm doing all the budgeting in the world with the dollars that I have, if I'm saving all the dollars that I have, well, hey, because of inflation, guess what? $100 today don't buy you the same thing in a week. Because of inflation, right, the amount of dollars I'm making is actually decreasing. So the question becomes, how can I make more money without having to work more time? Because we're capped at 24 hours. And not even that, because only certain places only allow you to work a certain amount of time. And the only way to do that is to invest. Now, investing comes in many vehicles. Real estate, a business, as the young lady beautifully articulated. But the one that we specify in is the stock market. Right? And that skill of financial sustainability is what we want to offer to the community, is what we've been offering for the last 2 years to these youth. And it's something that I'm super proud of because we are making strides in Broward County as we speak. We really are. And Sharon, you can go to the next slide for me. So, when I first came up with the Talented 10th program, I'm often thinking about like, all right, how do I want to start something and where do I want to end up? Right, like most things. So I would like for you all to look at this visual and think of a house. This program, the way I teach these youth, is built on the concept of divergent thinking. Constructive thinking is what they learn in school. The answer is either A, B, C, or D. Divergent thinking is using creativity, using experience to solve life problems, and having them kind of go against the grain and question what they think they know and actually what they know. But divergent thinking is a strong skill because a lot of our youth have a hard time analyzing, thinking a little bit bigger, and I'm often telling that to you guys, right? Let's find a way to think bigger. And it's that concept of divergent thinking is the foundation. Now the pillars that will hold up, right, the goal that we have, the pillars is first, financial sustainability. The second is professional development. So now what has that looked like in terms of the program? Well, all these students on stage have a resume. A really good resume too. They have LinkedIn accounts. This past year, our first cohort, all of them had summer internships. So we're building them up professionally. Not only that, I've brought in people in the finance sector and outside of the finance sector to talk to them, to educate them, to teach them, so that they can have more people that they meet and truly start building their network, so they don't have to do it when they're adult. So what happens when we have a youth that can think differently, that have a strong network of individuals they can reach out to for resources, and not only that, are professionally developed to talk, to speak, comfortable telling you their ideas, articulating what they've come up with, and not only that, continue to be creative in what they're doing. Looks like a strong foundation for what we want our community to look like, right?
Yes.
That's what that looks like. Now, on top of those pillars, the goal is freedom. Now, that looks very different for everyone, but freedom is the goal. Now, with that being said, we have the foundation of divergent thinking. We have the pillars of financial sustainability and professional development that's getting us to freedom. And that's something we all should strive. But what I want to challenge my students on, and I want to challenge you on, for however you're building your house is, who do you want to be there? Who do you want to be there? So as we're working our jobs, as we're building our businesses, remember who we're doing it for and who we want to be next to us when it's all said and done and we reach that self-actualization of freedom. Because that's all that matters. And I'm learning that in real time today, and that's why I want to give that to you. As we all go in our walks of life to try to seek freedom, better finances, more camaraderie amongst family, remember what we're doing it for and who we want to be around us. Because it's being useful to each other and building community that will get us closer to what we want. Ms. Sharon, can you go to the next slide for me? And that's where I would like to get into really what Talented 10th has been able to do. So, again, this program started 2 years ago. This is our second cohort, and since then, Talented 10th was just a partnership with the YMCA. It was just that. We were at the old location. Ms. Sharon was actually scarfing up locations for us to work at. We actually weren't even in the YMCA for the good first 6 months of the program, but it developed into what? It developed into KP Cares and a foundation partner with Broward College and educating 150 students of their dual enrollment students at Broward College and providing them the skill of financial literacy and financial sustainability. And what else have we been able to do? We've also been able to build an online program through Canvas that has gone global. We currently today have 189 students enrolled across the country learning financial literacy as we speak today, and these students have been my helping hand in doing it. So let's give them a hand for that. That is a huge achievement. Let me tell you, I started with 6 kids wanting to teach them financial literacy to building it out online so it can become more sustainable and available to others, to us having 189 students across the country. And I'm going to tell you, about 80% of them are not in Florida. That is a good thing and that is a cool thing. Not only that, we're partnering with the Catholic organization here in South Florida. I had the opportunity to pitch this program to the Urban League's pitch competition, and we actually won a grant for the program and got acknowledged through the Urban League, and also is building out a program for the Urban League down the street as we speak right now. And again, this all stemmed from these youth, from Miss Sharon, from just an idea. Right? I'm so blessed for that. Not only that, we got the opportunity to get featured in the West Side Gazette, the oldest newspaper here in South Florida, acknowledging the work that I've done, these youth have done, Miss Sharon has done in the community. And again, there are a lot of other partnerships coming up the pipeline. I've been taking meetings since the top of the year. Because guess what? There are so many organizations that want to get access to not just financial literacy, financial sustainability. Because we can find a bank to come and talk to us about bank accounts, saving accounts, checking accounts, credit cards. It's not hard to find that, but it is hard to find someone to come and talk about investing as a vehicle for financial sustainability. And I'm so humbled to be in the position where kind of in South Florida, I'm the spokesman for it a little bit. And that's an opportunity and a privilege I take on with honor, but also I understand the responsibility, and I thank you to my students. I'm going to keep referring to y'all because you guys really keep me grounded and remind me that there's a lot of work I have to do. And I just want to thank you all for really, I don't think I've ever asked anything of you and you told me no. I don't think I have. I really thank you for that. And it means more to me. And I know I tell y'all when it's just us, but I want to let them know too. All right. Ms. Sharon, next slide for me. And this is my last one before we kind of go into things. I want to talk about a concept that's really been heavy on my heart since the last graduation ceremony. And that is a topic of support. The topic of support. I feel that when we talk about support, it's broken in half for some of us. There's a culture of supporting, and then there's a community of supporting. What do I mean by that? All of you showing up, that's a culture of supporting. You're showing up, right? You're honoring the students, you're here, and trust me, I appreciate it. But culture is kind of operational, right? It's kind of short-lived. It's something that we do and we just feel engaged to do it. But community is lasting. Community we do because we want to do this, a system in place. It's almost like ingrained in how we do it, right? When we talk about support specifically, right? So with that said, I want to challenge all of you to not support the culture of what we're doing, but be a part of the community we're trying to build. And what does that look like? That means helping us bring another youth to the stage. What does that mean? That means telling a friend, a family member, a colleague, or a peer about what we're doing here. What does that mean? That means offering your resources, not monetarily, but the people you know, right? The people you touch, you rub arms with on a daily basis. So I challenge you, again, thank you for being a part of this culture that we're trying to do, but I would like all of you to join the community of what we're doing. So that when we do the next cohort, when we bring up the next youth, I can say, oh man, we got the same crowd here again, back again. Because again, that's community. And that's what I want to build. So with that being said, thank you all. I appreciate it. This means the world to me to be able to show you what we're building here in the back of 6th Trunk and building to the community, because it's no easy task. We're here every week on the Tuesday, and like she said, online. And right now we're online. This week we're online twice a week because again we have the global program. That's 8 weeks that we're providing. And if you guys open up your pamphlets, there's an opportunity if you want to donate. Again, not just your resources or your money, but your time. Please contact me. The email is info@kpsystem.org to reach me. If you want to donate monetarily, just text KP Cares to 55533, I think.
53533.
Send a payment.
53555.
Thank you. But again, I thank you all. I appreciate it. Ms. Sharon, you go to the next slide. We're going to get ready to honor these students. And specifically for the young ladies, let's give them a hand. I did something special for the young men last year. We had a guest and our guest speaker do something special last year for the gentlemen, they all got gifted laptops, which was awesome. So I was like, I can't get one up at my own event, so I got the girls' laptop. I got each of them brand new Dell laptops. And then not only that, these two young ladies have set the standard and the bar for any young lady that would dare try to join this program. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. If you don't mind me asking, what's your GPA? 3.5? 4.3? We have scholars on the stage.
Yes.
And not only that, when they show up here for our sessions, they are prepared. And if they're not prepared, they're honest about it. But I appreciate them so much for what they've done. So I had to do a little, gentlemen, I'm sorry. I had to do a little extra for the girls. So I got them all iPads.
30 some odd years, almost 40 years, I've been in accounting and finance. And truly been blessed that me and my wife both own our own business. My wife is a State Farm agent, and I'm not bragging or anything, but we've been blessed. My wife is the #1 State Farm agent in the state of Florida. Wow. And I was fortunate enough to be the first franchise owner in South Florida. H&R Block do not believe in franchises. As you see H&R Blocks throughout Broward County, there's 50 locations and there's only 4 franchise owners. They don't believe in putting franchises in metropolitan areas because they can make their money there. They don't need a franchise because we're all at risk as a franchise. Very interesting story that I hear that you're doing here. My father taught me some of the same principles that you're teaching here. My father had to drop out of school in the 8th grade. He had an 8th grade education. I always said if my father had a high school education, he would have been a CFO of a Fortune 500 company. He taught me at a very young age. I got my first job of cutting grass in the neighborhood at age 10. He said every dollar you make, put away 10 cents of it, 10% of it. I kept that principle throughout. And the only way you're going to be successful, you got to be disciplined. A disciplined investor is always a successful investor. I started investing at age 24. Dollar cost averaging, investing the same amount every month. To this day, I'm 57 years old. I never sold a stock or mutual fund in my life. From 24 to 57, I still own every stock and every mutual fund. It may say it's not smart investing, but I've been very successful in that practice of dollar cost averaging and never selling a stock or mutual fund in my life. And to this day, I still invest every month on the 15th of every month. And I started that back when I was age 24 years old. So you got to be disciplined. So what you're doing today, continue to carry it out. Like she said, you know, you're going to have kids, you're going to get married one day, and you're going to say the roof is leaking, I need to repair it. But don't go into that nest egg. Keep that money aside. And you're going to see you're going to be very successful. Just be disciplined. That's the key about being an investor, is being disciplined in what you do. You're fortunate to start at very young ages. I started at age 24, 2 years after college. My brother taught me, he said, you know, you also got to maximize your 401k. I did that from age 24. Back then, back in the 80s, the most you could put in was $10,000. It's up to 20-some thousand now. So when you get your job, maximize your 401k. And don't touch that money. Now I promise you, you'll be successful. And that's all I have, and God bless you.
People talk about all the time with our children. And Sharon, I am so proud of you. Sharon and I, we met in the park 20 years ago. And I've been hanging with her ever since, and it's been a joy. Yes. But let me just tell you something. The thing that, when I see this materialize, when I see this happening, it makes my heart smile. Because guess what? I feel okay with you all in the world. Everybody talk about what our kids can do, what they won't do, what they're not going to do. This is proof that we are going to be okay as a race in our community. So thank you both so much. And you and I would like for us to get together because there are about 5 other organizations that will probably pay you.
They ain't got no TNT.
Okay. To pay you.
Sorry, very quickly. Good evening. This is now my 3rd time in this building this week. I work for the Children's Services Council. I am their media and communication specialist, so I do a lot of the marketing items for them. Just seeing a lot of our community partners on your screen during your presentation, I was highly impressed. I work with these people literally on a daily basis. We took a tour of the building. I was able to see just how much is offered here in the YMCA. Sharon sent me the flyer to advertise in my weekly blast that I do every Monday. If anybody needs to send me materials, feel free. As long as you work with children, I'm happy to advertise that to the community for you. But I just have to say, Snoop, listen, everything that these young people stood up here and delivered to us, I never expected to hear. Sharon kind of badgered me yesterday when I was here for another event that I had to be here tonight. She knows I'm supposed to be down that street, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm happy that you guys are making me miss the beginning of my happy hour fun, because what you're doing is amazing. Just keep that up. But I just want to say, holding hands with the other community partners that are in this room with me, we got to keep this up. Yes. We have to find other places for Mr. Torrance to deliver this information and these materials. And all of these young people in here, trust me, my son is 7, but as soon as he hits the age range, he will be somewhere with you, okay? Thank you.
Peyton is my daughter, my youngest. I have 3. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you. You made me so proud tonight. I did not expect that at all. Thank you so much. And it was just by the grace of God I met Miss Sharon. She has done wonderful things with my 2 girls. And she never tells me no. She's always here for me. And sometimes as single moms, it's difficult, So I remember when she was getting ready to interview, she came home and she said, "All these boys, I'm gonna show them. They got the right one." I'm ready. And she was so hyped. And so I'm just so proud of her because this is my son. He's 25, and I always say we're the 4 Musketeers. And when he graduated, I just said, if he graduates, I did a great job. Then he turned around and went to college. He graduated from Florida State. And after that, I knew I could do anything with my kids. Yeah. So I am so proud of you, Peyton, my other daughter, and my son. And this is my oldest brother. And he treats her like his baby girl. So we are so blessed. Thank you.
Mr. Armstrong and Jada. And let them know how proud I am of everything they've accomplished, everything y'all do. I walked in here. I'm not my dad. My dad is very stern. Those parents that never told me he loved me, but he loved you through his actions. I make sure I tell my kids I love them all the time, but a little bit of that sternness does rub off on me. And I got sensitive kids, so you gotta be careful with them. So I just want to let them know that I'm very proud of them, of all you do. There's a lot on both of their plates. Both of them, Jacques play football. He go from football to 10 to 10 on the days he got to be here. Jada play flag football. She's the same thing. And like I said, one thing about it, they gonna bother me about missing this thing for, Dad, I gotta go. I be the one, man, I'm out the bucket. But I can't let them do it because the way I taught them is when we start something, we finish. So they gonna ride it out through however long this lasts. And like I said, I'm very proud of y'all. And you two up there, you other two, y'all stick with it. Y'all make sure, just hearing y'all stories on you being in the Bahamas, making sure you made the Zoom calls. That right there took a lot. You know, to being young as you is, I know a lot of kids that have been like, nah, I ain't doing that. Especially in the Bahamas, on vacation, you know, doing your thing. You took the time out of your day and put in the effort to learn from this man that's giving y'all knowledge that y'all gonna need. A lot of us, basically all of us didn't have this growing up. Financial literacy, we didn't have this opportunity given to us. We didn't. You know, y'all especially my two.
Thank you guys so much. Anybody else want to say anything? That's inspired me though.
I'd just like to say that thank you, Miss Sharon. I'm the mother, and this is the father of David Torrance. But I'm very proud of what you're doing. But thank you, Miss Sharon, for continuing to stay on him, to get him to balance, you know, everything that you needed him to do. I know it was a little hard, but like you say, he's very stern. We were very stern, and you know, but thank you for all you do, because like you said, each one of them take this into each of their household, like they're gonna change a whole family or community, and it's starting right here. So thank you both for all the work that you do, all your hours that you put in, your time that you put in is greatly appreciated. And whatever I can be assistance to help you, you know, I'm here, we're here to help you with whatever it is that you need. So thank you so much. Great job, young men, young ladies. Y'all keep soaring, because it's yours. It's out there. As Mary say, go get it. Go get your blessings and bring it back to your community. And Dilla High School Panthers.
My name is Brenda Boston. I am the auntie of David Michael Torrance, better known as Snoop. Just want to say to you guys, it's a wonderful thing. It's awesome to see our children embrace to their future. And I always had this slogan that reach for the stars, because a lot of them got your name on it. Because you know how so many stars be shining? Grab them all. This is your day, and may God be with you. I love you guys.